We're going B again. Go to the flash, and then we pause. We pause. Smoke's here. KO flashes. Boom. Typically, when you see a smoke as a flash character, your instinct should be to flash out. That's why your KO does it here. It's also really good as a Reyna to combo your flash with other people's flashes, because if you break Reyna blind, you have to look at it. But if they look at KO's flash, it pops. So it's called a God Flash. This seems to be the common trend. This is why we aren't making through the choke points. First things first, always got to celebrate the week. I mean, we're fucking silver too, which is very nice.
Well, one RR, one RR silver too.
You know, it counts. It counts. But we're doing well. 60% win rate on the Reyna, which stats wise are green across the board, which is always a good sign to see green. Glad to see that. And we're doing well on all maps, like 50% on all maps aside from split. So you messaged me. I was like, okay, let's take a look. I pulled up the tracker. I was like, okay, we're 06. And I decided to look at our split game 2 days ago. This 11-13 game to see maybe where we're falling flat on split. Yeah, I have the notes first. So attack, the main things that I noticed was we aren't really making it through the choke points. There's a lot of util there. So if you're smoked off, typically the way to get out of the smoke or the choke point is to flash. And we aren't doing that. And also our teammates are a lot faster than we are. That's something to definitely take a look at. If we do make it out of the choke point, at least on B, I don't really recall many rounds we actually made it out of A site. But on B, we would kind of get to that little pillar spot and then we would kind of just be stuck. So we definitely need to talk about routing, which can be simple, but doesn't mean that it's easy. But typically when you're routing on B, for example, you either go in like a straight line like this, and you might stop here for a second to use like a util or something, or you would kind of go towards this box so that you can kind of wrap sight. What we're doing is we're kind of getting here and then just freezing, which unironically is actually what Aspas does when he plays Jet, but it means that you don't really take sight space. So yeah, there's pros and cons to it. We'll talk about that as well when we take a look at it. And just from a map perspective, we aren't actually going mid too much. I don't know if you recall, but a long time ago, we were doing some like crosshair placement drills when we were like in this little mid area. That is something that we could do as well if you feel like being with the team isn't working. You made a comment in the VOD, which is very accurate. On split, maybe you should be split. And that is very true, especially as you kind of climb the ranks. The util dump and the stall and stuff like that gets a lot harder. So something that you'll notice on the enemy Reyna POV is his entire team was going A. Like they had like 4A. They were all getting scammed by the KO knife, but the Reyna was like solo lurking B. And they were getting like duels, right? Like I wouldn't want you, if you were to do this, to be on the completely opposite side of the map compared to the team. Typically it's better to be like one lane adjacent. So like maybe you go mid instead if your teammates are 4A, but we'll get into that as well if that's something that we want to explore. On defense, I think something that we could work on is playing potentially more off angles or looking for more off barrier duels. Those kind of go hand in hand. On a map like Ascent, for example, it might be more of an off angle, and on a map like Split, it might just be more of like peeking into them. But we'll also take a look at that. I think for me, I think the bigger thing is going to be attack. I think we had a 3-9 attack half, and then going into defense, we brought it back to 11-13. So obviously our defense is going to be a little bit better. And it's also a little bit of the map design. Split is going to be naturally easier on defense. So definitely want to focus more attention on attack. Okay, let's kind of hop into it. So up until Young Split here, first thing you will see, we've gone for the early flash. This is all fine. I am a pretty big fan of the early flash there. If you have two, it's good to chain it. So you'll see we kind of flash, but we actually don't go towards site. We're kind of making our way towards A ramp. Typically you would want to go towards site just because this is how the smokes are positioned and you are the first player. But I think this is potentially routing. You might prioritize more A ramp. So you go towards ramp here. The smoke is here. And then this is kind of where we pause. So you actually had a little bit of timing to go through the smoke, but regardless, your KO is coming out here. And this is where we'll see the team play thing. He's kind of just going to run out, and we aren't actually like through the smoke with him. And we got decayed here, so you're kind of like waiting. Your eyes are in the wrong spot in this point. So right now you're kind of looking at your screen, and then you'll also look down at your health, but we never look up at the mini map here. And it's a really good guideline to look at your mini map if you're in a smoke or behind cover while your teammate is coming out. So in this case here, let's just take a look at the minimap. If you look at the minimap now, you see the Reyna blind and you see the clove on the left side here. So you can kind of assume that they're going to be both left side, which is important for you because now you can come out of the smoke trying to understand what angle he's on and then pre-aim it. And then you would be able to support your homie here. Now, of course, the decay timing is really good. We can't account for that because it doesn't show up on the minimap. But that would have been a decent timing for you to try and come out to help your KO, just because he gave you the info.
Oh my god.
Coming out here, same thing, right? So we see them again on the mini map. You do end up coming out for the trade, but what you'll notice is we actually aren't like preemptively stopping. So we come out and then we kind of like, oh, he's there, and the kill's already happened. Whereas if we saw it on mini map, it could have been an insta kill.
Got DK'd.
And then from here, I believe you get this kill and then get traded. So all good. Next round, we go B. Kind of making out the choke point. Flash here. This is fine. Shoot turret. KO's running out. And then we make it out. But the thing I want you to see is how we were actually first in line here. Boom. First, right? But we're actually, I think, the fourth person to exit the choke point. So KO's out. We're here. Chamber and Clove just ran past us, and now we're fourth. So we aren't maintaining our pacing, which is definitely something to keep in mind. Now we're out. We absolutely shit on this guy. With a good trade on this guy. We don't pop our heal. I did notice. I think you used your heal one time this game, from what I remember. So that's definitely something to talk about too. I believe so.
God.
You can see kind of we're in the open here. So we haven't really found cover. Yoru's planting, he's in cover. KO's close spawn, so he's in cover. And then you and the Clove are kind of just both in the open. Right? This is kind of your typical routing here. You end up getting, I think, a couple more kills here.
Clove is on the side. Ah!
And this is why it's so scary. We're just in the open. So when you're kind of going back and forth, they can kind of peek you everywhere. But you shit on this guy. Could have grabbed the heal there. And then that probably would have converted for this duel. But I'm just over here pointing things out. This also should be your buy, by the way. I think your teammates like forced last round, so that's probably why you didn't force this round. But typically you buy round 3. Regardless, you come back out. We're going B again. Go the flash, and then we pause. This seems to be the common trend. This is why we aren't making through the choke points, because we're backing up. So we pause. Smoke's here. KO flashes. Boom. Typically, when you see a smoke as a flash character, your instinct should be to flash out. That's why your KO does it here. It's also really good as a Reyna to combo your flash with other people's flashes. Because if to break Reyna blind, you have to look at it. But if they look at KO's flash, it pops. So it's called a God flash. So you always double flash with Reyna. And then if you look at your routing here, if you go back and take a look at where your KO flashed, you would try and route towards the direction here. So this is going to be a little bit advanced, but I'm just gonna bring it up. We don't have to dive too much into it. But he's flashing right side, which is gonna hit like this lane here, which means that if you were to double blind, you would also blind here, and then you would route towards this box because that's what the flash is hitting. It doesn't really, that flash here doesn't affect this side of the bomb site, for example. But regardless, we go out. We did make it out as second in, which I was pretty happy about. We didn't slow down. Unfortunately, we kind of pause here again, so we don't really know what to do from this point on. And we're kind of just stuck in the open without cover, and then we get mollied, and the round pretty much just plays out from here, and that's pretty much it there. So the important thing there is, 1, we could change our routing, and 2, we could add some flashes to the execute. And I guess the first, even before all of that, is trying to be a little bit quicker once we're at the choke point there. So definitely having trouble on split attack, and it makes sense. This is one of the hardest attack sides. Your Yoru ults, so this is something that we're missing as well. Maybe you do this a bit more with other drone util, and you might not be thinking that Yoru ult is the same. But typically with Yoru ult, your eyes should be on minimap for a lot of this, so you can kind of see what's clear. You'll notice is it takes us a while to get through the smoke, and our KO is already through, when we could have probably just swung through with the Yoru because he didn't see anything. Now we do flash, which I do quite like. You come out, and now you're trying to help the Yoru and the KO. So if you go back and look at minimap, he sees the Clove there, and he sees the Fade there. That probably means sight is clear, by the way, if they play 2 heaven. So if you come up here, notice how you aren't taking the fight. We know where both players' locations are based on the minimap, so we should be swinging. If you don't go for it, so they both die, we have no trade. It's really important that we should be trading. Go back towards sight here. Like I said, sight should be clear. They're just going to be heaven right now. We don't make it out because of the C's, which sucks. Turn around and we have this engagement here. So there's a couple things here. Again, number 1, we aren't really making the pacing to go towards sight. We're kind of like gravitating towards A ramp. And then we had the same thing that happened on pistol, where we're kind of just waiting a little bit, not actually taking that ramp fight super quickly. So it's pacing issues and routing issues are the 2 main things so far for attack, which makes complete sense, especially on a map like Split. So yeah, here we go again. Before I even continue, by the way, I do want to say and point out the reason that we're still climbing, despite all of these like skills to work on, is because the single most important skill that you need to climb the rank in the lower ranks is actually just winning your gun duels. And you can do that by having good gun hygiene, by having decent crosshair placement, and that's what you've been developing over the past couple of weeks. So that's typically why I approach it that way. Now we're moving on to more like game sense stuff, such as like agent mastery, role mastery, and also more like map dynamic stuff. But I guess from my point of view, it's really good that we have this first foundation. So
No, I agree. I think that it's helped a lot.
yeah, we're shitting on these kids. Okay, so we're going B. Boom, boom. We got spotted by Prowler. We flashed. We canceled the flash. There's a smoke here, and then you'll notice he flashes and they're running forward. We should also be running forward with the flash in hand, ideally. We get mollied off. So the reason why we didn't make it, despite our teammates making it, is because we had that slight pause there. And the way we routed as well wasn't W. Like right here, we should just flash and go forward. But we kind of like went left here. It's a very minor moment, literally so minor, but that timing is like make or break against util like this.
Yeah. Okay. I
So-
think I dismissed the leer because I'm not familiar with the double flash like idea, so I assumed since KO was flashing, I should just have gun in hand.
Right. Which, to be fair, is definitely a valid thing. Typically, if teammate is using util, you should keep your gun out. I think that is pretty true. So this is just one of the more nuanced things. Typically on an execute as well, everyone util dumps at the same time, and then everyone pulls out their gun at the same time. Whereas like, you know, if you're kind of walking around the map, contacting up mid, for example, you might have like one player gun out, one player util. So it's kind of a different dynamic as well. But anyways, we get mollied off. We don't make it out of the choke point, unfortunately. And then the round kind of devolves. We got one kill and then the round was kind of over there. Go mid here. Your ult, he clears everything pretty much. If you go back and take a look at the minimap, going up, he clears boxes, he clears all of left side. So really only the main thing to worry about is ropes here. When you come up here, we could probably speed up a bit more. I think you could use your flash here. I think you could probably just run past the angle as well, but we aren't doing enough of a service to the Uriel to take the space. We get the kill here. You're kind of looking left. Again, the left side is all clear based off of the Uriel. This is kind of where that mini-map awareness is coming into play. We could have even taken ropes, but we died to the Rose player there. So that was, I think, more so a mini-map thing, but also potentially spacing as well. Your kind of just ran up and cleared stuff, and we weren't actually right next to the guy. So we go next here. Oh, the smoke comes up here. This is where the instinct to flash should come up. So boom, smoke. I was like, oh shit, let me pull out my flash. That should be instinctual. If you see a smoke and you're on attack, you should really consider pulling out your flash. We end up not doing it here. Yoru flashes instead, which is nice. And then he goes through. We weren't able to maintain the spacing there because we kind of did like a slight backup. I'm not exactly sure, maybe it was just the gun sounds, but we weren't able to swing with his flash. We're a little bit late. We aren't able to trade that guy. So everyone's going through the smoke right now, except us.
Oh my god.
And then now we're through. And then now we flash, which at this point is a little bit late. So next smoke is up. We decide to go A ramp, which is fine. Again, another smoke. You could flash through this if you wanted to, or we can just chill. But at the very least, you would try to support the young Clove. Thinking about the flash, they all die side, so you can kind of see again, we are biasing more towards this little ramp position rather than going towards site, which is interesting because one of the rounds you won was when you walked into site and you killed 2. So we definitely are gravitating more towards a safer option here. And I believe the round is just a little bit over. I actually don't remember what happens here. Go back. Maybe you win this round. I do remember this kill. I do remember this kill. Oh, and then that would also be a heal. I also did remember that. All good. And then heal screens. Oh yeah, and then we get ulted. We get haunted. Yeah, we lost it. This would just be a simple flash here. You would still die probably, but it would be good to flash here.
I'm 1 HP. It's fine.
It is what it is. Okay, next round, they kind of just run out mid here. This angle is fine. It's good for ops, but it's not like a true off angle, which is kind of why we get run down here. So as a Reyna, you do want to prioritize off angles. Again, we'll talk about this as well on defense. Or you could just take the flash, fight off rip, but you decide to adapt to play a bit safer mid here, which is fine. We just kind of get caught looking at the mini-map here, I think, at some point. Yeah, there it is. You flash free fight, which is good. I do like that we're using the flash.
Oh my god.
You could also flash here, but you kill the guy anyways. W. Insta dismiss, you could grab the heal, whatever. At this point, kind of don't really know what to do. This is just mid-round stuff here that we won't necessarily talk about, and we didn't expect the second. So this is all okay at that point. So again, we pop ult, one player A, B player died. We should be rotating on first sign of life, But to be fair, there was a player spotted B and A, so it's a little bit confusing.
Yeah.
But regardless, we do end up rotating over, boop, boop, and we're just looking for duels. I don't think we get any this round. Go team, go. They decided to switch ropes because you're playing the right side a lot. I was like, okay, I'm down. You hear a haunt, boom, you flash, you swing. They're really far back, so you go for another flash swing. Boop. And they also flashed. So we're kind of just trading util at this point. All good. Get seized. Crosshair placement's a bit low here, maybe for the Prowler. And then your KO flanks and kills too. W teammate, he flashes us as well. L teammate. And then from here, I believe we just go into the B retake. Oh no, we kill this guy mid. Yeah, we do go for these mid fights. So we didn't really get to do too much on the round start, but I did like that you're looking for that mid fight with the flashes. I think that's definitely a better way to approach mid if you're gonna go into those angles like that. So okay, flash day, boom. They're making some mid noise, B noise, just holding the angle. This is fine. Your chaos push to A, so you could go B, just like this. Yeah, this is fine. And you get the kill. So this positioning is a little bit better. It's a little bit scary, obviously, because they could come up mid. So it's really good that your chamber put the trip here. But what you could do is you could go out to clear mid here before you go back to B, or you just try and commit to go onto the B site instead of kind of being in this little middle ground here. Just if you want to kind of be more sure. There's nothing wrong with being in the middle ground here because the chamber through the tripwire, but it's a bit more awkward because you're more likely to get into a pinch. Like if that guy was to come up B heaven right now as this guy were to swing out, it could be a little bit awkward. But you end up destroying both of them. This would be a good time to heal, by the way. And we just win the round there. So it's good. Nice shots, right? This exactly goes back to the point. If you can get your fighting skill up, like just the mechanics down, you can build everything else on top of it. So yeah, I don't know what the smoke means either. They don't know what they're doing. So they flashed B. This off angle strong. You peek out, you don't see anything. This will play your mid. It's kind of just... This is kind of what's happening with this elo. Everyone doesn't really know what's going on, but I do think this guy's eventually going to walk up for B. Reyna. Oh no, he's back to mid. Flash. You double flash here. We'll talk about the mid fights later, but yeah, flashing and swinging here is pretty good, like you do here. So to go back to A. Yeah, a little bit slow. It's okay. The mid round on defense is specifically the hard part about this game, but we need to solve the first 15 seconds of defense before even thinking about the mid round, and we haven't been able to address that yet. So trade. Oh no. Nice. Time for the ult here. No, I think we should lose this one off time. Yeah, that's all good. Smoke mid again, and then you hear a couple B. So again, you kind of have to make that decision whether or not you want to fight mid or you want to help your clove B. Both are completely acceptable. It just depends on what you want to do here. In terms of this angle here, it is good. I normally play this angle specifically when I have like a shotgun or something, but it is good. I think you could play it maybe more AD spam, but technically this angle is fine. It's just not normally an off angle that Reynas will play, which is something we'll talk about as well.
Here. Okay.
They come up mid, they flash. You could look for this timing. You get the kill. Very nice. And we kind of just shit on them. So again, this is the mechanics kind of coming into play here. The peaks are looking good here. You can see the crosshair placement. And the peaks are definitely looking a lot cleaner here. We're stopping a lot of these. And we're just shitting on them, right? This is definitely ideal. Something that's also what you would want to keep in mind when you're doing this is in the back of your head as you're peeking out that you have this tool to dismiss when you need it. So something that a lot of people will do is they'll shoot they'll see a player and shoot like 1 or 2 bullets and then immediately dismiss so they have no chance of dying. So you'll notice we don't do that here, but that is something you could consider. But regardless, that's just the mechanics kind of shitting on them. And then we come out to B, 1 player lurking. Then if they're smart, they just reset, go A, which is scary. I like the killjoy ult. Oh.
No.
Is that impossible around the win? Unless now they just ran at you. Got one left, one right. This one's hard. It's definitely hard.
What the hell? Where's everyone?
Back right.
I can't do this.
Oh, no,
I
he's
can't
not.
do this. Shit.
Okay, so we have a couple things we could work on. I guess before we even move on, did you have any like initial thoughts, maybe for each half? Anything come to mind for you? Like what was like your takeaway, I guess?
Mostly, well, kind of what I messaged you about after. I don't think it was immediately after this game. I think it was actually the next day, but I was thinking about Split and I'm like, it feels like it's much easier once there's no util by the other team. And like, that's probably true for all of them, but specifically for Split, it feels like all of the fast starts to the rounds are always because the other team is just like dumping stuff on me. I don't really know what to do at that point. Maybe that's why I'm hesitating, or that's why I'm like staying behind everyone. It just, I don't know what to do in those situations.
Yeah, which definitely makes sense.
Yeah, that was the main thing. It's just, maybe it's like it would help provide a little more clarity if I had like a plan for that, or like, you know, with the one brain cell, like next step.
Right,
maybe.
right. I gotcha. Definitely the first thing that comes to mind for me is just pulling out that flash. But yeah, stall util in this game kind of bucket into a couple of categories. So let's kind of start with smokes, right? If you get stalled off by a smoke, the counter to a smoke is going to be your flash or drone util typically, but this is one form of stall util. So the power of this smoke is that now you have to worry about like really close angles, you know, like this. Or I guess like if someone's in front of the smoke, if they were to smoke B, you would have to be really scared of like close left and close right. So now the other category of stall util is damage util. So that would be like a raise nade on the choke point. That would be like a molly. If that happens, typically you just cancel. Like you can't really go there anymore because the rotates are going to be there in time, unless your teammate is already out. In which case you could try to just wait for the util and then flash out. But typically if that damage stall util comes into play, you just run away and you go somewhere else. The only other category of stall util is going to be like traps. So you have like vice thorns, which is kind of stall util 100%. You have like the wall, you have like tripwires. That's a lot harder to deal with. And typically it isn't in the realm of the duelist to necessarily deal with it. It's just more so being aware of it. That type of util is more so for your initiators to try and deal with if they have shock dart or something like that. But if you're playing raids, for example, you would consider that and try to nade, whatever. That's the most important thing. The other thing is whether or not you're first or second in, which kind of goes back a little bit to the group A conversation and group B. I know we didn't really talk about this super extensively. I'm trying to think, I guess, what specifically should we work on? Because I do see we could go a couple of routes here. Number one, we could talk about defense a bit more, like the first 15 seconds. I think that would be useful. I think that we could also have you practice looking at the mini map as you're rotating. We'd probably need a couple of volunteers from chat to fill out the lobby, but that is also something that we could do. The other route we would go is to really focus on that attack half, kind of just talk about these flashes and clearing the angles and all that stuff to make that a little bit better. So I guess from your point of view, what would you want to do?
I think I would want to focus on the first one listed here for offense.
Okay.
The choke points, just because that's where I hesitate the most, I feel.
Okay. We just need a couple of people from the chat. Let me just throw a party code in the chat and see if we can fill this up. We're probably, yeah, we'll just have this. This is good. We just need people to play in certain spots. So maybe we'll have Brimstone play in this corner here. And then we'll have maybe KO play here, holding the smoke. And then we'll have the Reyna play Hell, just like staring here. I just need you guys to stand here looking dangerous, but don't shoot back. And we'll just have to have path clear some of these angles here. So what's gonna happen is that there's gonna be a smoke here. Boom. Okay. And then you're gonna flash out of the smoke and you need to pick a side to look at. Okay, so when I'm gonna go out first and you're gonna stare at the mini map and you're gonna try to figure out where to look. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna run out and you're gonna flash for me. So go ahead and flash. Okay, so now I'm coming out and then I'm clearing space. And then you would be right next to me, figuring out where to pre-aim. So let's go back and take a look. Let's say I have this smoked and you're flashing and you see my character model looking left. Do you see me looking left? That means you wouldn't look left, you would look straight, or you would look to the right because I'm already looking left. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna come out with your flash. I'm gonna kill this guy on the left and you're gonna choose either straight and right, and then you're gonna kill that guy and dismiss.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Dropping smokes. Cutting their vision. One enemy
Okay,
remaining.
then you have to dismiss.
Enemy spotted.
Oh, yeah.
B.
Okay, then now you're back in cover.
Still inside. Dropping a smoke. One enemy remaining.
So in this case, you would look to the right because I look straight.
Oh, I
And
thought you looked to the right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you have to see where I'm looking literally like last possible second as I come out. Because like I'm gonna be in front of you. Right?
Cutting their vision.
Okay.
So you look right here or left, but the KO is not spawned in. So, which honestly, I don't
Yeah,
really look
I
left a lot of the time.
Oh really?
I
Okay.
kind of just gamble it.
Yeah, maybe gambling right is the better choice because usually people are there instead of here. I feel like earlier in like maybe the iron level there were more people like waiting here for me,
Right.
but now there's like no one ever here.
And your flash buys you time too. So like, let's say like you flash out and the flash gets immediately broken from the left side, then you would know to pivot, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing with this flash. So go ahead.
Still in sight. One enemy remaining. One enemy.
And then that would be the kind of entry. And that you make sure your spacing is really good. So I'm gonna go back here and we're gonna do it from back here. And you're just gonna follow my lead. Okay?
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Dropping smokes. Still in sight.
Oh.
One enemy remaining.
Okay. So in that case, you were actually first. You beat me, which is probably fine. But you made it through first.
Okay. So I should wait for you.
If you want to. It's not a requirement, but sometimes you will have a teammate go in front of you and it makes your life easier. Like it's almost always better. Sorry, it's almost always easier to be second or third in than it is to be first in.
Okay.
If you're first in, you kind of have to like look everywhere. You have to look right, left, fucking everywhere, and it's really difficult. But it's something that you might have to do. Now, if you were to be first in, the recommendation is to use 2 flashes, because then the first one gives you a little bit of info. For example, if you use the first flash and it's not broken, then you can probably assume no one's close, because they probably would have shot it. So try that real quick, and just throw 2 flashes, 1, and then 2, and then run out. And now you heard the flash on the right side. So that's what you would try to kill. So we could do that again, just double flash, and then try to get the kill off of the info you get.
One enemy remaining.
And then you would dismiss. Yeah. Okay, you ready to go over to A?
Yeah.
A is harder, I will go ahead and say. Okay, so Brad, could you play this close corner here? You can just stay like at main here. Yeah, perfect. And then we still have Kuro, right? The Reyna. Can you play this side angle here and just looking? Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Ooh, make sure you're in cover when you do the second one.
Yeah. Okay.
Run it back. Should have picked Brimstone, so I'm gonna do all 3 smokes.
I don't know if that hits though. Maybe
You could do it more right. Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, the more right it is, the more it'll get the angle. Like, you could even do it along this wall here. If you do it along this wall, though, it won't blind this close right player in the slant, but that's probably okay. Like, it won't get this guy, but you just have to clear it. But yeah, the more right you do it, the more it will get that Reyna. It's probably better anyways.
Okay, so like 1 here
Yeah.
for Brim. 1 like here.
Yeah. That definitely slows it down a little bit, because like sometimes I'll be greedy and I'll just do 1 flash and I'll just go. Like you could technically, like from here you could do the flash through the wall on the right, like when you're in the smoke, if that makes sense, and then it will hit the Brim and the Reyna.
Well, I didn't see if it hit the Reyna, if that one hit the Reyna.
It will. You have to do it
Very
more
hard
right.
for me to get my
Yeah,
crosshair back in place.
I know. That's part of the skill. You have to do it quick. What sense are you on?
0.26?
That's 800.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so go to 800.2, do it for a little bit, and then go back to 0.26.
0.2?
Yeah, so it'll make you be really slow, and then when you come back, you'll be faster. Actually, yeah, let me go on the enemy team, and then I'll be on the elbow spot.
That was not a good one, I think.
W. Okay. Run that back. We can keep switching positions here, maybe. Me, Brad, and Kiro. And your job is to clear everything.
Okay. Oh,
Okay, time for a protein shake.
So after you clear close on the brim, you might have to look towards me.
okay.
I would say that's pretty realistic in a game.
Okay.
Fully smoked.
Oops. I jumped off.
I know it's hard when you don't have that much space.
Fully smoked.
Yeah, that flower spot is hard to clear. But you would want to try and clear it early if you could, to be honest.
First. Okay.
I don't know if you
so
can do it
maybe-
first, but
Maybe.
you would have to peek in the sight first. It would have to be like a gamble between clearing flower and the slant angle. Like if I'm here and they're flower, you have to pick kind of one, to be honest.
Yeah.
But that is the downside of being first entry.
Maybe I walk far back enough I can see both.
You you might be able to.
Let's see.
Launching smoke.
Oh, my bad.
Very good.
I don't know.
In path isolate the sight fight before I see them. You might be able to, but I don't think so. You might be able to like scale here to clear slant before flower. Let me sit in the corner. See if there's a way that you can clear one of us before. You might have to clear flower first before seeing me. And then you'd have to turn around in time. So that's the hard part I think for you is like actually whipping around in time.
Fully.
Yeah.
That could also just be a trained skill too. Like just practicing turning around. Boom, 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 boom. There's something you can do in the range where like pretend like this is the range here. You put it on like eliminate 50 or easy bots or something. You would look the other way. The bot spawns. You turn it right in. Turn around on the sound. Get the kill. Turn back around. I mean, you can do easy bots. I think my audio is low. Do something like this. And then you just basically try to hear the spawn sound and turn around. I have it a little bit loud right now, but that's the idea. So you
Oh
could,
my goodness.
you could try that for a little bit. It also might make sense for you to flash, but I don't know how you would do that, to be honest, without overcomplicating it. So maybe just do that for now. Easy bots, get the kill, turn around, turn back around. That's probably what you're gonna have to do to train this. And when you're training this, I would recommend doing a sense that's slower than your normal sense, so that when you go back to your normal sense, it would be easier. So like right now I'm on 0.1, turn back, then I go back. I don't have the sound on, but you get the point.
Yeah.
And then you can be a bit quicker. And then again, when you go back up, so like now I'm on your sense, it's just gonna be a little bit quicker for me. Yeah, so I see like you barely have your arm on the pad. Yeah. That probably explains a little bit of it.
Well, you can't see anything behind the microphone.
Yeah, let me see. I'll show you what I'm working with here, so you have a better idea.
Okay.
Like this is how much arm I have on the, like my elbow's back here, but like when I swipe, I can turn around with like my pivot point. It's like, whereas you're probably like down here when you're turning.
Yeah.
Which you could still do that. Like I could still do it if I'm down here for sure. It's just like I have definitely less range of motion. And for me, it's because I run out of my bungee, my cord runs out. But people get past that limitation that you're struggling with by either scooting back in their chair. So like there aren't like basically their pivot point's further back, but like they could still swipe a lot. But yeah, you just, in my opinion, I think you can either have more arm on your desk or you would try and scoot back a little bit.
I think my problem is that my mousepad is actually covering a bunch of stuff, so there's like it's bumpy underneath it. I can't really use the upper half of it.
I see. That's that's something I hated about my old desk. So attack, not making it through the choke point, smoked off, no flash, having trouble. Okay, so what we need to do, I'll bold it here. Maybe I'll put it down here actually. Flash to get through smokes. Let's see. Flash to get through smokes. Clear angles that your teammates aren't clearing if they are in front of you. And yeah, that's pretty much the teammate ones. Flash to get through smokes, clear angles that your teammates aren't clearing if they're in front of you. Trying to think. Optionally, you could double flash if you're going first, so you can get some more info / space. And then defense. Look at minimap until the last possible second as you're rotating, so you can see where your players are, teammates are, and where the enemies could possibly be. Okay. Just gotta gather that info and defense. Kind of the name of the game for this attack and defense. It's a little bit of mini mapping, so you can kind of figure out what to do.
Yeah.
And then mech training, I would say, is we'll add the easy bots turned around and flicking back to the bot on spawn noise to practice fast flicks. Yeah, probably what I would do for this week.
Okay. Doable.
Definitely doable. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't think so. I think it'll just also be playing on that map more because, yeah, when you pulled it up, I mean, I noticed that it was a 0% win rate, but it also was less plays than all the other maps.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Less
probably just
repetitions.
need to get more practice in, yeah.
It's a harder map too, for sure, like for the execs. But yeah, I think at least for this game that I saw, the clear problem was just the pacing, spacing, flashing thing.
All right.
Alrighty.
Keep that in mind.
Oh yeah, let me add optionally could do this on lower sensitivity, so easier when you increase your sensitivity back to normal. Definitely optional. Some people don't prefer to train this way, but I find that since it isolates a little bit better, it does it a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
I already noticed a difference when I switched it back.
yeah, pretty
So.
much. Good. But hopefully that helps your split. I think using the flashes will definitely help. For sure.
Oh, and health, and I need to keep in mind to use my health more.
Yeah, the grabbing the orbs, man, that's a tough one. I would say just put that in the back of your head, but don't think about that one too much. That's like a secondary issue right now.
Yeah, I think in my head I have it. The reason why I don't grab it as often is because, I mean, I'm not sure where the other opponents are, and then also if I'm like above 70, I'm like, oh, I don't want to waste it right now, but then maybe I get hit immediately and then lose more. I don't know.
Typically you heal anytime your health is below 120.
Oh, okay.
Because you want to, it's like the difference between dying to a vandal and 3 body shots or 4. Yeah, we'll see how this week goes. Definitely see how this week goes, but definitely do the mech training. I think this will help do all the other things for sure.
Okay. I will prioritize that then.
Alrighty. Well, if you have questions, reach out. Otherwise, I'll let you do your thing for this week.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Likewise, you have a good one.